and then since 4-11 in conference play this year, and will be without the services tonight again of Lily.
Not lead in, Lily Carmen will be led in.
Wiggins thought about the three top of the key and said it's McGuff. She's been making more than half of her threes the last 5 games. And Butler trying to exploit that here tonight. It's Janes working the post. Super efficient and a 5-0 spurt for Butler. Janes tried the backdoor look to McGuff, but it was thrown in her shin. Wild throwback to try and save the basketball. Never save it under your own, but nothing, and trying to grow on it here.
That's right. Xavier scored 18 points in that. Wiggins has put on some defense, ball pressure, and Butler's moving the basketball. Nice back.
And Xavier really labors to score, and the road woes continuing. Canerva trying to make it on the bucket for the first time. Good head fake, and the freshman gets him on. Tough handoff there. Quick trigger, Mayo. Beats the buzzer, and
Xavier plays with so much heart.
Mayo again. Beautiful offense around the screen. Zeke with it. Wiggins thought about the trigger. The sophomore instead driving. Good patient play instead of follows it. It was her layup with a minute to go that won it for Xavier in Cincinnati. She kicks out this time. Missing is Canerva. 2 to shoot. At the horn, Purvis ties it at the end of the quarter. Teammates before that second inbound for Butler, as they're just trying to find any sort of cohesion, communication, and rhythm, and Makalewski is driven twice.
He has to be aggressive and confident. You're looking at a player who is Big East all-freshman team.
Couldn't Butler trying to add to its lead. Zeenstra finds space in the lane. Beautiful dump off. And Butler moving crisply to begin this second.
Why her length matters and makes a difference. Getting the block shot and able to even close out and extend that arm on the closeout, Christie.
They'll take Christie shooting at that from that far out if you're Butler defensively. Carter, Christie couldn't get the foul call, kicked it to Wiggins. And good backdoor look, Zeenstra. Good job collecting youth. Canerva coming in at the next dead ball. Is that one off glass?
This is a nice matchup. Oreo and Makalewski, both taller players, 6'2" each. They're going to put a lot of challenge.
Active hand, Zeenstra. 9th turnover for Xavier. Now Zeenstra. A perfect little series back in. Land can't return it. Almost threw it away. Zeenstra got to the right spot. Quick recognition and another great entry for a Carter Easy that's dressed here tonight. And fresh off the bench. Freshman can't convert, but a reset, and she's in.
Seems to be a factor.
Oreo off a nice set piece. Nearly perfect shooting. Christie. Naismith. That 3 rattles in. Petra Orbalova off of.
That's what Xavier has to do. Continue to play with that confidence. Never mind the previous games. And Butler has the tools.
Instead, it's Naismith working her way around. Xavier team, which has its 1 win earlier this season against Butler, hanging tough here on the road as Makalewski starts the scoring for the Dogs. For help. Trying to find McGuff. Zeenstra was wide open. They couldn't find her. Wiggins, toe on the line, beats the horn.
That's great hustle by Ari Wiggins, and Taylor Purvis wasting no time, immediately back down on the other end.
Deep 3. That one rattles home. And Orbalova. Xavier playing 11 players in the first half. As Zeenstra drives, that's been open for her, and she'll head to the line. Butler has never trailed. Purvis, speed around, beautiful leave, and Canerva has her second.
Rotating over early to take that charge.
Great backdoor cut. Canerva and an even better find from Orbalova. A little bit easier for Butler, but it's just they have not been able to grow the lead. A couple of this game. Norman, great head fake, goes right around.
That's a great word. We talk about the adjustments that Butler's had to make so far in this game. Injuries coming into the game, and then during.
Tracks down her own rebound. 5 seconds to go. Norman's got to do something quickly. She's going to drive under the defense and scoop it in at the horn.
So the magnitude and the importance of those two-point shots by Lily Zeenstra and Carson Norman were right on time.
Tough grab for Christie, working against Carter, who slides in a good defensive possession. Canerva drew the defense, made a bad pass. Higgins gave it up, wants it right back, should get it. Break, give and go the other way, and McGuff finishes off. And Purvis is having an earful right now from one of the officials for talking too much about what's being called out here. 3 fouls now quickly for Xavier here in the quarter. Carter waiting for the defense to clear, instead clears it herself. Zeenstra didn't know what to do with it. Purvis has help. Mayo on her left finishes with the left hand.
Well, right back on it on this end. Purvis and Mayo down in transition. The nice give and go.
How about Xavier surviving that defensive possession with a couple of fouls and nothing given, but Zeenstra comes right back and drives. No help given. You know, you could call a foul every time down, so what constitutes a foul and what doesn't is Mayo connects for 5 straight. And she's in a sprint the other way against Zeenstra, right underneath her and gets the roll. It's a 2-point game. Canerva thought about fouling for a second, poked the ball away. Now it's on the deck and got it. Gibbons has it. Other way in a foot race. She's going to win it to the rim and get it in. It's a 1-point game. Freshman and sophomore leading the way for the Bulldogs, who survive Xavier as Mayo makes one at the buzzer in what was a really good night for her. But the road woes continue for Xavier. Butler gets a win they needed. 5 wins now in the conference, with UConn coming in on Saturday. But that is not exactly the win that Butler needed to build confidence necessarily going the rest of the way, as the fourth quarter put a couple more gray hairs on that man's head right there.
Well, Butler had to rely on its strengths. Although the three-point shooting was there in the first half, the second half didn't quite connect.